Hi, I'm Caroline from Pinnacle Studio Success. Happy days! I am so happy to share with you that I recently sold 2 of my studios in Maine. While you might not want to, or maybe not even need to sell your studio right now, this may be a situation you face down the road. A studio is a difficult thing to sell, and I want to share with you how you can make your studio a saleable asset. Stay tuned. Selling a studio is a very tricky thing. Its true value is not necessarily shown on a profit and loss statement, and worse still, if you're a sole proprietor, it's sometimes difficult to show a potential buyer what you have legitimately deducted for expenses. The value of your studio is in the relationships you have built and the loyal students that have returned year after year. Studio owners sell their studios for a variety of reasons: retirement, divorce, a move, or a desire for a change of pace. So although you may not be thinking about selling your studios right now, down the road you might want to consider it, and the sooner you make your studio a saleable asset, the better. For me, I knew some time ago that my studios in Maine no longer aligned with my goals. With my move to Florida a year ago, I wanted to have the freedom to come back to our home in Maine and relax and not feel compelled to work or make an appearance at the studios. My new studio in Tampa was an instant success, making a huge profit in just its first 10 weeks. And so, therefore, I wanted to put my focus into opening more of my Tutu Cute brand dance studios, and of course work on Pinnacle Studio Success, as my passion lies in helping other studio owners to build successful studios without the overwhelm. I realized early on when I started thinking about selling my studio that I needed to stop having the entire studio revolve around me. So it seemed like if Miss Caroline wasn't there, nothing happened. Every student wanted to be in my classes, and I think there was an assumption that things would always remain that way. In fact, I know that there was that assumption because I had one parent very upset when I moved because she thought that her daughter, all of 6 years of age, may I add, deserved to be told that I would no longer be her teacher. Odd, because for the 14 years I'd never advertised in that studio which classes would be taught by which teachers, as it was a sure way for my classes to fill and caused lopsided enrollment. So I took the plunge and I hired a studio manager to run the studio's day-to-day operations. Did we lose students initially? Yes, but it freed me up to work on my new studio and allowed the bulk of my students to experience firsthand that the studio could indeed survive without me. After a while, I realized that the studio manager would be the perfect person to buy my studios. She was being trained on the job and saw firsthand that the studio can run without me being in the picture. We have spent many years systemizing the studio and automating it so it didn't need me day to day to run it. And that's where the value of my studios lay. So a big tip here is don't wait until you have to sell to get your business ready for sale. Because sometimes it takes as many as 3 to 5 years to totally systemize everything in your studio. What you need to do is get a bird's eye view of all the working parts of your studio, all the steps that are needed on every level to run your studio efficiently. You need to document everything that goes on in your studio, from how you do payroll and bill students, to how to set the AC for the studio, to how performances are planned and run. I have even gone so far as to make a video as to how to clean the big pane windows at the entrance to my studio. Now, who knew there was such a thing as a squeegee technique? But anyway, so during this information gathering phase, you write everything down, either online, or if you're like me and a paper and pen person, post them on a notice board or use Post-its and stick them on a wall. The beauty of the Post-it technique is that then you can see the categories and they start to form, and you can start to move your Post-its to each category. Things such as admin, curriculum, suppliers, procedures, and so on. Once you're ready to start putting it online, you can use something like Google Docs to document every category. You are creating a reference guide and step-by-step manual for everything that happens in your studio. I use Camtasia to screen capture for online training. You can use this for your studio software training, how to do website updates, and so on. This step of getting everything out of your head and physically record it transforms your business into a saleable asset that you can now market to sell. I certainly wouldn't train a prospective buyer until the sale has gone through, but you can certainly show them your online manual and build training hours into the sale. Many studios don't own a physical building. This is something, it's maybe a blessing in disguise, because if not, you'd be selling a $500,000 business or more, which is far harder to sell than just the fixtures, tangible assets, and goodwill. All this is helpful practice, even if you're not selling your business. If you have an operating manual, it gives you the assurance that if you were to fall sick, take maternity leave, or go on a well-deserved vacation, that your studio can still operate efficiently without you at the helm. I have created a helpful outline for a studio operations guide with all the categories and headings that you can populate with your own studio's information. Use this and you'll be well on your way to creating a sellable asset. Join me in the Pinnacle Studio Success Group on Facebook and share how you document and share your studio procedures.